the Bucks getting Myles Turner.
Hello.
Giannis ain't going nowhere. He's got Myles Turner playing beside him. What a surprise. 4 years and $107 million for Myles Turner to the Milwaukee Bucks. Pacers losing their longest-term player in Myles Turner. Just went to the finals, and he is gone. He is going to play beside Giannis Antetokounmpo. What an upgrade for him.
Wow.
Beside him. Bucks ain't going to be bad. I guess the Atlanta Hawks, got to hope the Pelicans are going to be super bad. I assume that Giannis and Myles Turner will have a winning record together. That is a surprise. $107 million over 4 years. One of those years is a player option at the end and a full 15% trade kicker, according to our man Shams Charania. So he doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to be in Milwaukee, wants to be up in the Midwestern sort of part of the U.S.
Milwaukee's the Midwest, of course it is.
Yeah, I guess so. It feels more east. We're going east. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
A guy not from the Midwest.
Yeah, well, I like looking at a map and I like seeing the West. When I talk about the West, I want it to be in the West. Anyways.
This is farther west than Indiana.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess you're right. Anyways.
And it's right in the middle. I can't believe it. I can't believe Myles Turner is actually not going to be on the Pacers.
Yeah.
The guy's played on the Pacers since Paul George was there. He was in trade rumors every season. There was a trade deadline where Myles Turner was like, yeah, if I were the Lakers, I would trade for Myles Turner, which was one of the craziest things. But now, since Tyrese Halliburton got injured in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Myles Turner is finally leaving. I think if Halliburton finishes that game, who knows which way it goes. Let's say OKC still wins the championship in Game 7, but Halliburton is healthy going into the season. I think Myles Turner is still a Pacer today, would be signing a deal for the Pacers to go into the tax. They're not a team that historically likes to pay the tax. So seeing that Halliburton is going to miss the majority of next season, likely all of next season, the writing was on the wall for the Pacers. Are they actually going to pony up enough money to keep their longest tenured guy in Myles Turner? Obviously, the answer is no. They're cheaping out on keeping him, and they're going to need to replace him. Not necessarily for next season, because it's going to be a down year for Indiana, but for the 26th season, we'll see where they go there. This is great for the Bucks. They're basically getting the closest thing to Brook Lopez from a defense and three-point shooting standpoint, and he's almost 10 years younger than Brook Lopez. At this point, he's so much more athletic, which is something the Bucks have been lacking the past couple of seasons. I think between Turner and Giannis, you've got a front court that both of them can defend the rim and switch out onto the perimeter. So this is a great save for the Bucks to be able to bring in Myles Turner. Still question marks about what they're going to do with their guards. They did find a way to bring back basically everybody from Ryan Rollins, Kevin Porter Jr., Taurean Prince. Those guys are coming back. So I think this is great. This is an upgrade for the Bucks to be able to turn Brook Lopez into Myles Turner. Turner's a better player at this point in his career. He's much younger. And yeah, you're paying him for 4 years, which means they want to keep Giannis around for as long as they possibly can. And it just was not feasible to me for the Bucks to go into next season missing Lillard, missing Lopez, and having no sort of replacement. So this is a really good scramble move for the Bucks. And I just am really shocked that Myles Turner is finally not going to be on the Pacers. This guy's been in rumors all the time, Taz. And this one came out of nowhere.
Yeah, yes. It is surprising that Myles Turner's finally leaving, because it felt like, okay, he ain't going anywhere. They just went to the finals. This guy is Indiana. He's been there for 10 seasons. And so you think, as soon as you say that, he's old. But he's not. He came into the NBA just 1 year in college out of Texas, so he was pretty young then. He's only 29 now, so 4 years if this ends up happening, he'll be 33. And it feels like he's been super durable so far in his NBA career. So it's not a big deal.
He plays, yeah.
Yeah, he does play. And kudos to the Milwaukee Bucks front office. Didn't seem like they were going to do anything. They just brought back Taurean Prince, a guy who couldn't start for them on another 2-year deal. Gary Trent, who obviously got better as the season went on, brought him back. But it felt like the same team is coming back minus Brook Lopez. And they go and get Myles Turner, who was arguably the biggest name who was available out there in terms of free agents, to play beside Giannis Antetokounmpo. So that dude must be pumped. Now, they still lack a ball scorer. A ball handler and scorer outside on the perimeter.
Yeah.
I mentioned the guys who they have. It's Gary Trent and Kevin Porter Jr. Once again, they have Kuzma. I'm gonna just skip over Kyle Kuzma because he didn't show that he was a great ball handler in Milwaukee. He didn't show that he was a great scorer in Milwaukee. But arguably going into next season, he was going to be their second best player because Damian Lillard was out. Now they've got Myles Turner.
Yep.
Which is yes, definitely an upgrade. It just felt like he was going to be an Indiana Pacer for the rest of his career. But somebody was willing to pay him more, and it was John Horst. Again, 4 years, $107 million. So at almost 27 per year, it isn't a crazy amount for Myles Turner.
Nah.
When you're looking at starting centers, he's shown that he is a very, very capable defensive player, as you said, because Brook was just lacking that ability to get out to the three-point line and guard that far. But Myles Turner can do that. He's that good.
Yeah. Are the Bucks going to be a lot better just because they got Myles Turner? I don't really think so. But I think they would have been a lot worse if they were just saying goodbye to two starters with no sort of replacement at all. So they replaced at least one of those positions. If you're going with Kevin Porter Jr. as your starting point guard for the whole season, I think that's going to be tough, but maybe there's still a deal yet to be done for Milwaukee. The Lillard for Beal is still out there. It could still happen. I don't know if it's smart, but it could happen, and at least Bradley Beal will be playing this season. So I think a good thing for Milwaukee and a sad end to Myles Turner tenure in Indiana. He wanted to be a Pacer. He said so afterwards. He had a pretty poor finals, if we're being completely honest, and he was the longest tenured guy there. And like I said, I think if Halliburton makes it through the series healthy, they're ready to go with Myles Turner probably there as the starting center again, having to pay the tax. But the reality is that Halliburton isn't going to be there. The Pacers aren't going to be quite as good, and their ownership is deciding to take a gap year, save some money, and see what Pascal Siakam can bring them. So if you've been holding Tony Bradley stock, this is big time.
Yeah, and
this is big time.
And when they went and gave Isaiah Jackson also that restricted free agency ability by giving him that contract, it sure feels like they're going to bring back Isaiah Jackson as a big center for them. It is weird to see Myles Turner go out, but yeah, you're right. It looks like a gap year while the Milwaukee Bucks...
They need a starting center. They made an offer to Ayton, right?
A long time ago.
Yeah, they made an offer to Ayton, which the Suns then matched. So I wonder if they get back in the mix for him, though that probably puts them into the tax, which is the reason Myles Turner is leaving in the first place. But they need a real starting center. Isaiah Jackson coming off an Achilles tear is not the guy, nor is Thomas Bryant, nor is Tony Bradley. So I wonder he was even out there. Rick Smits, come back, baby.
Yeah, I wonder if they offer DeAndre Ayton a low number. It doesn't count necessarily against the taxes all that much because, maybe they outbid the Lakers or whoever, but maybe it doesn't cost that much. So, we could see DeAndre Ayton there. I am excited about the Milwaukee Bucks. And as we've said, maybe it doesn't raise their ceiling incredibly high, but it definitely raises their floor to make them a more solid team. They could be extremely bad if they didn't have Myles Turner out there and you're just throwing out what they throw out against the Indiana Pacers in round number 1 as Kevin Porter Jr. is your starting guard. This makes them so much better, but they still need to go get some guards.